Here's your First Warn Weather forecast first, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
It's a sunny and warm afternoon across the state line today as our temperatures made it back up into the low and mid 80s following some cloud cover and even a few rain showers earlier. 82 in Rochelle, 81 in DeKalb, 84 now in Janesville, 83 Rockford, 85 the current temperature in Monroe, Wisconsin. We had some of that cloud cover and a few showers earlier on, but as that cleared down to the south, we saw an increase in those southerly winds, and that's going to really be the driver for bringing a lot more humidity our way here into the night tonight, and that'll keep the overnight low propped up in the 70s, setting the stage for a very humid night and a very humid morning tomorrow. It'll be a hot and humid one for the afternoon as our temperature returns to the 90s. I'll look at our heat index values going into tomorrow as well as the rest of the weekend coming up in just a moment.
Right now at 5, new details in a Janesville murder-suicide. Police identified the 3 victims in what started as a domestic dispute.
First responders are recognized for going above and beyond. The Rockford firefighters awarded promotions.
And Rockford's 4th of July committee calls on the community to help celebrate the event that could use more patriotic participants.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. We thank you for being here tonight. We start tonight at 5 with police releasing new details, including identifying victims of a Janesville murder-suicide.
Tuesday morning, police responded to the scene at the Aspen Square Apartments. That's where they found 4 adults with gunshot wounds. 3 were dead, 1 suffered life-threatening injuries. Police determined one of them shot 3 others before taking their own life. The shooting started as a domestic dispute between 2 people in the apartment. The deceased have been identified as 25-year-old Julia Vicker, 21-year-old Javarius Wicks, and 55-year-old Scott Roberts. Police did not identify the victim in the hospital, but did say that person remains in critical condition. Police also have not said which of the people in the apartment was the suspect.
Staying in Rock County tonight, authorities are accusing a Janesville couple of conspiring to poison multiple women. Paul Van Dyne Jr. and Andrea Whitaker both face several charges, including attempted first-degree murder. Last month, deputies were called to a hospital in Janesville to investigate a possible poisoning. Investigators allege the couple attempted to kill 2 women that Van Dyne previously dated, putting cyanide pills and powders in the victims' cars. 7 state agents were hospitalized due to exposure to the substance. In that investigation, Van Dyne and Whitaker are both now in the Dane County Jail. We are expecting some very hot and high temperatures locally this weekend with the heat advisory issued for the state line.
Let's head right back over to Jordan to learn more. Jordan, what do we need to know heading into this weekend?
Well, Mimi and Wendell, that heat advisory goes into effect tomorrow and it runs all the way through the weekend, even into Monday. That's area-wide, covers the entire state line, and doesn't really let up until we get into late Monday evening before eventually that will set to expire. That will also be driven by a lot of the humidity. I mentioned a moment ago, the humidity will be rising as we head through the night tonight. Here's a look at our dew points right now. Many spots in the mid-60s, but look at those numbers tick up as we head through the night tonight and going into tomorrow, back into the 70s. That humidity paired with the increasing temperature will allow for our heat index values to push well above the triple digits for multiple days in a row here. For tomorrow, our heat index likely pushing 106, 105 for Sunday, and then a little bit cooler on Monday, even though the air temperature will actually be highest on Monday. The drier air actually helping to keep that heat index a little bit lower. But nonetheless, each of these 3 days featuring those high heat and humidity levels, and that will really allow for many of us to really take a little bit of more of a concern with those heat safety protocol tips, making sure that we are staying hydrated if we must be outside for long extended periods of time, taking frequent breaks in the shade, and all of that certainly going to be important over these next few days.
All right, thanks, Jordan. And to help you stay safe this weekend, cooling centers will be open around the state line. In Winnebago County, Rockford Rescue Missions open 24/7 for people needing overnight shelter. In Boone County, the Belvedere Public Safety Building is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the Belvedere Oasis is open 24/7. For a full list of hours and locations, check out this story on our website, mystateline.com.
Honoring the firefighters that provide exemplary service right here in our community. Today, more than a dozen members of the Rockford Fire Department were honored for promotions they've received this year. Although many of them have been in their new positions for months, the department felt it was important to honor everyone that goes above and beyond. Veterans Memorial Hall was filled with friends and family as Mayor Tom McNamara spoke to the first responders. In total, 18 were promoted during today's celebrations.
Some of them, they're being promoted for the first time. Some of them, they've promoted through the ranks and now are being appointed a division chief. And we had everything in between. So that I'm truly grateful and thankful to be part of that.
Early this month, Governor Pritzker selected Chief Pankow to be the state's next fire marshal. Her appointment is still pending confirmation from the state Senate.
A local church held a rummage sale today in support of their ministries. Despite the rain this morning, many community members came out to Roscoe's First Congressional Community Church to look at what they had for sale. Items available for purchase ranged from home goods to electronics and antiques. The church's pastor says this is just one of many ways they get involved with the community.
We want to be in ministry with our community. So we have a senior luncheon once a month that we do about 50 to 60 seniors, and then and we do a clothing giveaway in the fall. Anything that we can do to be outside and in with the people, getting to know one another so that they see our faces, they get used to us, and they want to do ministry with us.
First Congregational just launched their community clothes closet. It's located inside an old Sunday school room. Anyone displaced from their home can make an appointment with the church and receive clothes at no cost.
The more red, white, and blue, the better. That's the advice for parade organizers for Rockford's 4th of July celebration. The deadline to participate in the parade now has been extended to Wednesday. The parade typically runs 60 to 80 units, and right now there are only 45. We all know the patriotic parade is always a hit at the holiday. Thousands line the streets to watch the event, so organizers say that's why there is room for more.
It's a great opportunity to get your name out there. You will be exposed. There'll be TV cameras. There'll be anywhere between 60 to 100,000 people. We're expecting good crowds this year with it being on a Friday. So it's two things. You get to participate in a great community event, and you get to get your name out there and get your face seen.
So local nonprofits, businesses, and organizations, you are encouraged to take part. For rules and more information, just go to fourthandlights.com. If you can't make it to the parade, right here on WTVO 17, we'll be live at 5 and 6 covering all the events downtown. Then at 9, we'll bring you a celebration of freedom with live fireworks coverage starting at 9:30.
Visitors from around the world converge in Rockford.
Coming up, local businesses tell us how they're preparing to handle the crowds and showcase what the city has to offer.
And tonight at 6, the hot, muggy weather brings out pesky pests. What makes us so appetizing to mosquitoes?
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Sports Director Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
The Ironman Rockford weekend officially kicked off today with competitors signing in at the Ironman Village in downtown.
And Eyewitness News reporter Blake Dietz joins us live there from the Village now. Blake, are they still signing up? How's it looking?
Yeah, Mimi, Wendell, we're at Davis Park, the site of the Ironman Village, and behind me, athletes are beginning to check in. Now, nearly 3,000 participants are expected to be here on Sunday, and along with friends and family, that makes for a huge weekend for the Forest City. And I spoke with some local businesses about how they are getting prepared. From welcome signs on the sidewalk to special offers in storefronts to Ironman-themed shirts like these at Rockford Art Deli, the Forest City is all in on the Ironman 70.3.
We've been preparing here. I did 10 push-ups this morning, ate a cream cheese bagel, so I'm ready to go.
That includes Dave Pedersen, the owner of Maze Books, says he's excited for the thousands coming to Rockford over the weekend.
I am pretty thrilled to to meet a bunch of people from all over the place and show them what Rockford has to offer, for sure. Last night as I was leaving, I started noticing people stopping and staring at things, which is normal for people who are out of town, so they started to roll in last night, and I think they're going to continue to roll in literally today.
Down the street, craft store The Scrap Jar is advertising a special offer for Ironman fans. You can make your own poster for free.
I posted a little reel, and people seem very excited about it, so I'm excited to see all the funny motivational posters that come out of it. So we have markers and poster board that are free for people to use in the shop. Otherwise, we've got all sorts of goodies throughout the shop, glitter, stickers. I'm excited to see what people do.
Rockford resident Margot Stedman is here preparing a poster to cheer on her friend who flew in from Orlando.
We're picking her up from the airport today. She's going to be staying with us for the weekend, and we're just super excited to participate in everything that's going on. I think it's going to be a great day in Rockford. We're really looking forward to it.
A sentiment shared by many in the city.
I think it says a lot. They could have gone probably wherever they wanted, and here they are in Rockford. And if you told me that would have happened 5 years ago, if you would have said that Ironman would be coming to Rockford, I would have said there's no way. But here we are.
And guys, it is hot out here, and it's only going to get hotter. So if you're planning on coming out here on Sunday, be sure to have plenty of water and consider finding a shady spot when you're watching. I'll send it back to you in the studio. For now, reporting live in Rockford for your home team, I'm Blake Dietz. Mimi, Wendell.
All right, thanks, Blake. Looks like a lot of excitement going on down there.
And it's finally here. We've been talking about it. It's finally here. But it's going to be hot. Temperatures will be in the 90s this weekend, so we are under a heat advisory.
Jordan lets us know when we might see temperatures cool back down. His full forecast coming up next.
Now, your First Warn weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
It's a warm afternoon across the state land as our temperatures made its way back up into the low and mid 80s after we had some cloud cover and even some rain showers earlier this morning. We're now sitting at 83 in Rockford, 82 in Rochelle and in Poplar Grove, 84 in Freeport, 85 the current temperature in Monroe, Wisconsin. Weather watcher Gene down in DeKalb reporting 82 degrees. 57% humidity and a wind around 16 miles per hour. Terry, meanwhile, in Genoa, reporting 17 mile per hour wind out of the south, 84 for a current temperature, 68 the dew point, and 0.02 of an inch of rain from what he had earlier today. That southerly wind really showing up when we look across a pretty broad region, many spots even 14, 15 miles per hour. That out of the south has really helped to transport some of that warmer air into our area, and that's really the main driver for why our temperatures had risen into the 80s, and that's where we still currently sit. That southerly wind showing up, a little bit of a breeze on the flagpole with our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera down in Rochelle. That paired with some of that bright sunshine also showing up off in the distance. That, of course, came after those morning showers and storms. That activity really fizzled out quickly as it moved well down to the south of us, leaving us now underneath that more sunny sky that we currently have into the afternoon. And we'll hold on to a partly cloudy sky here this evening, but that southerly wind really going to be a key factor through the night tonight. We'll maintain that direction of the wind out of the south going through the night tonight, and that could even gust near 25 miles per hour through those overnight hours, and even a little bit higher as we head into tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, possibly pushing 30, 35, or even 40 miles per hour. That southerly direction of that wind really going to help to transport a lot of moisture and a lot of that dew point values. It will be continuing to climb here as we head through the night tonight and into tomorrow. Starting with tonight, that'll have a really big impact on our temperature as this is the overnight low. We're only down to 73 for that overnight low temperature, partly cloudy sky, and certainly that increase in humidity, although slightly offset by a little bit of that breeze. That breeze tomorrow really doesn't help much though. 94 the air temperature, and that'll come with more of that humidity. Our dew points into the low and mid 70s. That will allow for our heat index value likely to push the triple digits or even surpass it for much of the afternoon, even nearing 105 degrees for much of that afternoon and even into the early evening. That heat index likely going to stay pretty warm as we head over the next several days, even above 100 for Saturday, Sunday, and for Monday. This is a little bit of a range on where those afternoon heat index values could be, but likely going to see those push the triple digits or 105 at least for the next 3 days in a row. Tuesday, 93 that temperature, likely still seeing those heat index values close to, if not above, that triple digit mark. And because of all that, heat advisory has been issued area wide. This really just a small portion of how many of those heat alerts that we have across a very broad region. Locally here, the entire state line underneath the heat advisory that starts on Saturday and runs all the way through Monday. So 3 straight days in a row, we're likely going to see those afternoon heat index pushing triple digits or even surpassing it. 94, 95, 96. The air temperatures even pushing close to a couple record highs. Overnight lows, we really do not get much relief from that heat and humidity, still down in the 70s. We will start to see those temperatures drop a little bit for the middle of the week, but that comes with our next increase in some rain and storm chances really starting on Wednesday.
Thank you very much, Jordan.
Drew Collins is in next with sports.
A Cubs legend returned to Wrigley for the first time in more than a decade. We'll show you.
Now sports with Drew Collins.
PCA has been the talk of baseball, but in Chicago today, it was all about the return of Chicago Cubs legend Sammy Sosa. In January, he was elected to finally join the Cubs Hall of Fame, and believe it or not, this is the first time he's returned to Wrigley Field since the end of his career. The Cubs had a lot to play for today, so let's check out the highlights. There's the man of the hour right there, getting the fans pumped up. Matthew Boyd got the nod today. He ran into some trouble. Home run leader Cal Rowley with the 6th pitch of the game, and he crushed that one. Seattle takes the lead. King Tucker ties it with the leadoff homer, 427 feet to dead center. He ties it up 1-1. Check out this heads-up play by Matthew Boyd. The ball was hit right back at him, going 104 miles per hour. Check out the reaction timing. And he caught it and got the out. Through 5 innings, it was looking good for the Cubs. Reese McGuire, the Seattle native, sends this one deep, and that extends the lead by 2 runs. But Seattle ties it up with a 2-run homer of their own, Mitch Garver. And more bullpen struggles leads to another home run by Cal Rowley in the 7th inning, and that puts Seattle over the top. The Cubs fall 9-4. The White Sox are in Toronto for the start of their series. They'll try to shake their 8-game losing streak against the Blue Jays. First pitch is at 6 o'clock. 3-time Stanley Cup winner with the Blackhawks, Jonathan Toews, has made his return to the NHL after his 2-year health-related absence. Captain Sirius signed a 1-year contract with his hometown team, the Winnipeg Jets. He chose to come back and only to his hometown team to help them mentor some of their young players. The 37-year-old is a Blackhawks legend, and it's just great to see him make a return after his time away from the game. The Sky Carp are hosting the Colonels at ABC Supply Stadium. First pitch is at 6 o'clock. The Rivets play at the same time over in Loves Park. They are hosting the Pit Spitters. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Well, what can you say other than it's going to be incredibly hot and humid this weekend?
But it's summer. It's the official start of summer.
Right. Good timing.
It certainly is, yeah. Right. We're right in the middle of summer. Now that we've started it, we're kicking it off, and certainly kicking it off in a big way. And we're going to be seeing our temperatures that will be back up into the 90s. So we're still going to be running about 10 or 15 degrees above average. So this is a little bit abnormal heat. So it's not necessarily just your normal run-of-the-mill summer heat wave. It is going to be certainly packing a little bit more of a punch in early in the season, maybe even more so than one toward July or August that we've already been used to some of that heat. But nonetheless, that's going to be on the way starting with the night tonight, and that's going to come with a lot more humidity on the way, and that's going to also bring our next rain chances in, but really not until we get into the end of this kind of heat wave. Right now, we're still seeing clear skies, First Warn Interactive Radar from Rockford, Glass & More, but humidity on the rise tonight, 73. That's the overnight low temperature, and that'll kick off a very hot and humid day tomorrow. 94 for the afternoon. Hot, humid, and windy. Potentially wind gusts peaking around 40 miles per hour during the afternoon out of the south-southwest. Heat advisory runs all the way through the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, where we could see those peak heat indices reaching close to 105 miles per hour, if not greater. 96, the air temperature on Monday, although that could be a little bit less anyway than humidity. 93 on Tuesday, and then we start to see those rain chances working in, starting to drop our temperatures for the middle of the week.
Thank you, Jordan.
And thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again at 6.